Welcome back, folks, to another Fireside Chat podcast. Triple B. With me, I got Coleman and Colin, two fellow real estate agents, younger real estate agents, just like myself. So it's nice to have like-minded people around me to just shoot the shit and talk about the business for a little bit. Welcome on, Coleman. You want to just kind of introduce yourself, who you are,
Yeah, so I'm Coleman Fierst. I've been in real estate for 3.5 years. I live in Eagan, Minnesota, just about 30 minutes south of our office here in Blaine. Just got engaged a few weeks ago. Throw the claps in there. There you go. Yeah, just got engaged to my beautiful fiance Alexis. Probably getting married here summer, fall-ish of 2024.
Nice.
So, along with real estate, planning a wedding now, so we'll see how that all goes. A lot of multitasking to do there.
You guys any places in mind yet, or?
Yeah, we've got this place in Wisconsin we really want to get.
Wisco, really?
Wisco, yeah. It's in Pepin, so right across the river.
Okay.
Alexis originally wanted to get married out in Italy.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, that's really expensive.
Yeah.
All my guests, like, I want a big wedding, and I don't want anyone to, like, miss my wedding that I'm, like, friends with.
Yeah.
And I'd feel really bad making them pay, like, $3,000 to come to my wedding.
Yeah.
So sell a couple $1 million houses.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, but
just fly people out there. Fuck it.
Yeah, right. But this place in Wisconsin, it literally looks like you're in Italy. It's on a winery.
Really?
It's like it's gorgeous.
Oh,
next best thing.
Yeah,
that's
literally,
amazing.
it's very. It looks like you're in Italy.
And
Nice.
it's Wisconsin. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like people that have gone there, like I cannot believe I'm in Wisconsin right now. I feel like I'm in another country.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
So
That's cool.
yeah, that's like kind of the next best thing, and it's like an hour away from where we live. So
Damn.
yeah, not bad.
I'm gonna keep that in the back of the pocket. Never know.
Yeah. I feel like you're a little far away from that.
Yeah, I should get a girlfriend first.
Maybe.
Well, Colin, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Colin, I'm with the DVC team. We're based in Zimmerman, but I actually live in Champlin. So
Okay.
I kind of do everything, like a lot of the city stuff. That's kind of where I like to be around, Maple Grove, Champlin. But originally born in Nebraska, moved here a little over 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, and been living in Champlin ever since. So
Nice.
I do have a girlfriend, been together actually since 7th grade.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'll have to keep that spot in mind.
Yeah.
For
Did you
got a
pop-
couple things to happen first, but we'll get there.
Haven't popped the question yet?
No.
Really?
No, I need money and I need my own place. So
You're only like 21 too, right?
just turned 22. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
turned 22. Nice.
So
Yeah. How
We got
old?
some
You're.
I'm 25.
Yeah. That's what I thought. You're a little older.
Yeah, and my fiance is 27, so
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Cougar.
yeah, right. Cradle robber.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I-
Damn,
yeah,
Nebraska
that's
though.
Yeah. So
That's,
my dad was born up here and my mom was born down there, and then he went to school at Nebraska Lincoln.
Okay.
So
That's
got married, had me moved up here for work. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Nebraska's kind of boring.
super boring.
Glad
man.
to have you in Minnesota.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to do down there. I have no desire to visit or anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. Yeah.
When I played golf at Winona State, we would drive through Nebraska all the time.
Yeah.
And it was just
Oh, it's an
awful.
awful drive.
Oh my
it's
God.
I've
just
driven through there
flat.
before. It is the worst.
Yeah.
The most fun we had is like we lived next to a farm, obviously, and they would always roll up the hay bales, so we just run across the hay bales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's about all there is to do.
It's only fun when you're like 10 years old.
Yeah.
yeah. Once
You're
you
like,
get a little
"Damn."
older, you're like, all right, that's stupid.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do now? Farm parties?
Yeah, right. Cow tipping.
Yeah.
Light
Uh,
a bag of dog shit on someone's
Porch.
porch.
And then run and have them see you because there's nothing but corn.
Yeah.
So.
They just see you getting smaller and smaller.
There's actually some really nice golf courses out there though, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, no. I've never got to play them, but we drove by a couple and I was like, damn, that looks really nice.
Yeah.
Like I would play there.
The zoo is actually pretty cool in Omaha. I think it's like top ranked in the world. I think it's like top 10 or something.
Really?
But yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
pretty cool. They got a lot of cool stuff. But
And then I think we named everything in Nebraska.
that's
so.
about it. Yeah.
Well, let's jump right into this. Why are you guys in real estate?
Go ahead.
Well, I've always been in sales. I was working as a service advisor at Chevrolet, W-2 employee, which I quickly realized just wasn't for me. I remember I started real estate just kind of as a side gig and thinking, everybody's going to be calling me. I'm going to get so much money. And obviously that's not the case. But I requested some time off, and it was like 3 weeks in advance. I had enough vacation time and just got told straight up no. And so I was like, all right, here's my 2 weeks. I'm going to go full-blown real estate and work for myself. And it's kind of why I wanted to do it, just be my own boss.
And that's the thing. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to get into real estate. Everyone's going to call me and buy a house with me.
That's
Like that is not exactly, and not at all how it is.
Not even your friends and family. You know?
Like
you got to work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prove yourself.
for sure.
It's a crazy industry, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. You know, those top real estate agents put in the grind.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. When I started, I would look at those guys and I was like, man, they got really lucky, you know. But there's no luck about it. Especially like you get to talk to these guys and you're like, wow, you were a grinder, man.
Dedicated.
You really put your head down and worked for 10 years straight to make this happen. Yeah.
No life for 10 years just to make it to where they're at now.
The Colton Whitneys and the Daniel DeRoches, like those guys are crazy. Talking with some of them, it's
like all they live and breathe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
But it's so nice that we have those connections too.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
we can kind of go to those guys and ask
sure
questions.
I'm sure we'll touch on it, but that's why I love EXP.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Coleman, why are you in real estate?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of similar to Colin, I was in the sales industry for a while. I worked at T-Mobile for about 3 years, I want to say. Just a sales rep there, and my mentor there, so my old manager, he quit to do real estate. He worked with a builder, so he was just sitting in the models, selling those, and he's like, dude, I made $280K this year, working only 9 months out of the year because the first 3 months he worked at T-Mobile still. Oh. He's like, this is like, I'm making as much as a doctor does, and I don't even have a college degree. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That's crazy. And then I ended up having one of the customers that came in, she was a broker for KW.
Okay.
And I just helped her so much and like opened her eyes up to all the, like I was like, you're on a horrible plan, you should switch to this one. Told her all about this information, about everything. She's like, you are such a good salesman, you need to do real estate. Yeah. Please come visit me sometime just so I can talk to you about it, because I really want you to be a realtor under me. I'm like, all right, I've actually thought about it for a little bit. Yeah. And this is kind of the push over the fence I needed.
The door opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just got to walk through it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So then I got my license. I was with KW for, 6 months or so, doing it half part-time. And same kind of thing. I thought business would just come to me. Yep. And then I'm like, I need to do it full-time. Got recruited to a team with Coldwell. And just basically a dipshit was running the team and like overpromise, underdeliver. Yeah. I didn't get what I needed out of the team, so then I was just kind of hung out to dry, and got burnt out pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Just kept kind of switching around, finding where I was most comfortable, and then finally got things rolling, and I sold 5 houses within 3 months. And I was like, shit, I'm finally getting things going. And then I tear my ACL.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
Yeah, so I tore my ACL. Couldn't walk or anything for like 9 months. And then I switched. Yeah. Then I found Tyler, joined the team. And now it's just, everything's great now. I mean, I just have way more confidence than being on my own and everything
for
now.
Sure, yeah.
It's so nice being on a team. Like
it's amazing. Oh.
It's night and day. I was actually also on my own for 6 months at KW when I
really?
First started, yeah. Yep.
And then God hit you in the face, and you're like, "Damn, I need to."
Yeah, I didn't have a deal for the first 4 months, and then I had one, and that was right around the time I quit my job too. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's happening now." And then winter hit, and I was like, "Where's all the business at?"
Floodgates closed back up.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. It's that kind of transitions us to the next question. Like, why are you on the team you're on, and like, why EXP?
Yeah, I mean, I joined EXP prior to joining Tyler Miller, because I heard so much about EXP and all the collaboration, the downlines where you can recruit agents and eventually make that your passive income. But my first goal was to be the best agent I can be, right? I feel like it's tough to recruit people if you're not a great agent yourself. Like, totally. What proof do you have that this works if you're not, if you don't have any proof in the pudding yourself? Yeah, exactly. And then I went in and talked to Tyler, met the team at a team meeting, and it was just like clicked instantly. Yeah. Right? Like everybody, the environment here. It's just
it's crazy.
Goofing around, having fun, but also like getting to work and doing business. So that's exactly what I needed. The collaboration, the mentorship program, everything's it just made sense.
Yeah, no, it really does. And I love it here too. Like I can't complain. It's a great place to start your real estate career.
Yeah, and I mean, we got experienced agents on the team still that are like, it's not just for starting out, being on a team. Like, this is a long-term thing here too.
Yeah, no, I don't see myself going to any different brokerage.
No,
it just doesn't make sense.
No, yeah.
So, Colin, why are you on the DVC team and EXP Realty?
Yeah. So like I said, I started at KW. I was on my own for 6 months, and when I first started, they were kind of like, okay, do you want to be on a team or on your own? And then I saw, okay, this is how much commission they take, and they didn't really explain the value of being on a team. So I was like, yeah, I'll be on my own, see what I can make happen. Around December of last year, I actually started looking to be on a team. And I had an agent that I worked with at KW that started the team actually at EXP that wanted me to join. Again, I didn't feel like it was really explained that well of what EXP was and the model and everything. So Dustin, owner of the DVC team, contacted me and he said, hey, I heard you're kind of looking around to join a team from one of our lender partners, our mutual friend basically. And so I went down there, sat in a team meeting, talked to him, and it was just instantly clicked,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in real estate, it's relationships with your clients, your sphere, obviously, but then also like with the people you work with. So I felt like I really, really jived with Dustin. Like we got a really good connection. Everybody on the team, it was super supportive environment. And so I told him right there, like, yep, I'm doing it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at Remax with them for a while. And then we started to think about like switching brokerages. And so we were looking at EXP. And he had actually talked to, not Dan Beer, but whoever's right below Dan Beer. I can't remember his name.
Is that the Whistle?
Kyle Wizzle or?
No, it's like below them. Unimportant. But he talked to somebody higher up over there and started to explain the model, and we looked more and more into it. And honestly, like the revenue share, awesome. The stocks, awesome. Really what it was the downline and the support, and what other brokerage can you pick up the phone and call the top producer in your state and actually have a conversation with them?
Yeah,
totally.
I mean, at KW, I would walk into somebody's office, had a question, and they'd give me a 30-second quick, get out of my office answer type of thing.
Yeah.
Where at EXP, any problem I have, I go to my team. If they don't have the answer, I go to somebody in our downline. And first response is always, yeah, when do you have time to hop on a call and we can go through this together and figure it out? So, I mean, that's why I love being here. Like you said, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. It's just the most support, the most communication. And at any other brokerage, we would be competitors, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
That's what I was going to say. It's so collaborative. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you go into someone else's office and you're like, how are you getting all these, like if someone was
Leads.
cold calling or whatever, like, how are you doing this? Is like, oh, I don't want you to do that because that's my business model. I don't want you to steal out of my little pot that I've got going for myself. Where here it's like, we invite other people to do what we're doing and help each other out so much.
And even on like the Monday mastermind calls, someone will say, hey, this is what I've been doing. This is what's working for me. My whole template, the whole layout, the blueprint is in the chat. So go ahead and download it. Copy exactly what I'm doing.
Those are crazy. Those
crazy.
Monday, they're outrageous. Like
honestly, I mean, if that's the only thing that EXP offered was those Monday masterminds, I still wouldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, because it's those. I learned so much from those masterminds.
Insane amount of value.
It's
Insane
incredible.
amount of value.
Like
Yeah.
being someone that doesn't I guess you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
I'm newer, and I learned so much from those masterminds that I can just put into my business or talk with my mentor Blake about like, hey, like they talked about this. Have you ever tried this? And then we'll go into detail about like, hey, let's try this or this, and it's
100%.
It's so
And
nice.
I'm sure Coleman can attest to it. If I had started at EXP on a team like from day one, I would be light years ahead of where I am right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. The nice thing about it, I was at the Gift of the Shift last Thursday.
It was so good.
It was. One of the top producers, Daniel DeRoche, afterwards was just sitting over by like where we fill up to get water. Walked up to him, had like a 15-minute conversation with one of the top producers in the state.
Yeah.
And it was just like a super chill, like friend conversation.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, he goes, hey, if you ever need anything, just like let me know.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
you
nuts.
don't get that anywhere else.
No,
Like,
and I had a problem with the deal that was going on, and Dustin had never dealt with it. Nobody on my team had ever dealt with it. I actually called Tyler, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I've never dealt with that, but call Julie." So again, top producers of Minnesota, and she's like, "Yeah, let's walk through this. Let's figure this out."
Yeah,
So
it's
it's insane.
It is. It's so nice to have the support, because this is an industry where you're gonna get shot down. Like you're gonna have the lows from time to time, and having the people behind you on your team or just in the brokerage to pick you back up and help you when you need it is so nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Brady, you set yourself up for like years ahead of like me and Colin not starting at EXP. Like I envy you for being able to start at 20 years old with EXP on the team you're on. Like I'm just so backtracked from all the previous things I learned, and now I almost have to like retrain myself to like ride a bike again almost.
Yeah. Exactly. The other thing I like about it too is it doesn't really get rid of the competition, you know, because that's what I hear a lot when I'm talking to people is they're like, well, I like competing, I like being number one in my office, and it's like you can still have that, you know. There's healthy competition, you know. I'm sure you guys would like to sell more houses than me, just like I'd like to sell more houses than you, and we can still work together
and brag about it, and then
100%.
Give each other some shit every once in a while.
Right. Of course, it's I love it. I like you guys said, it wouldn't want to be anywhere else because it's a good fit for me, and it's a good fit for a lot of people, and I don't think a lot of people realize that when they should.
Yeah, I think the downline has an impact too, because I've heard other people that, you know, have EXP, they have the model, they don't have the right downline.
Yeah, I think that's huge too, and I think EXP kind of gets a bad rap because there's so much recruiting going on, so people are just like, oh, you're with EXP, I bet you want me to join EXP, and it's like that's just like the common misconception is that it's all about recruiting, but it's just not really the case.
I heard someone say once that people think it's a pyramid scheme, and he was like, well, it is a pyramid, but it's not a scheme.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, every agent below you helps every agent above you and below them, and vice versa, and it's just it's awesome. Yeah.
It's a good environment to be surrounded in, like you guys said. So, but kind of moving topics here, you guys are both really into the expired, canceled FSBOs type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why? What motivates you guys to do that?
A lot of those expired calls.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was at a point in my business where my sphere wasn't really trusting in me yet, right? Because like everyone thinks you're new, they don't want to trust you with a brand new purchase of the biggest purchase they're going to make in their lives. So I was like, I need to find a way to get new business from people I don't know. How the fuck do I do that? Yeah. Right? So, wait, we can swear, right?
Yeah, you're
all right,
good.
Cool. Bitch, fuck. So I found my coach, Brandon Mulren, and I don't know if you guys have probably seen him on YouTube and stuff. He is like a fucking genius with words and talking to people. I bought into his coaching program. I just said in my next sale, I'm going to buy into his coaching program, and that's going to change my business. Bought into his coaching program, went to his summit out in Michigan, met an amazing group of other agents that are all doing the same thing. And it was before I really started making the calls that I went on the summit. But I went there, talked to people. I'm like, does this really work? Like, or is it just kind of like a show that like to get money from people? And everyone's like, no, these scripts are genius. Wow. Like, it's amazing. Like, just try it and like don't give up on it for like a few months, and you will see results.
Super smart.
Yeah, and then tore my ACL and couldn't do anything for a few months. And then I got back on the saddle, started calling again. And then, I mean, the scripts definitely work. The hardest part was staying consistent with calling. Yeah. You know, you can't call for 2 days, not seeing your results, and expect that it just doesn't work, right? Yeah. You got to stick to it 4 or 5 days a week, a couple hours each day before you start seeing results, because you need to go through that struggle of sucking on the phone to then getting good at the phone, setting appointments, then sucking at the appointments, and then getting shut down at the appointments, to then getting good at the appointments, getting the listings, and then you're going to suck at having listings. Yeah. So then you got to learn how to sell the house. So it's just a learning curve. You know, you got to go through each milestone and get to the next point. And I think I'm finally coming over that thing where now I'm pretty good at the phone, setting appointments. Now I'm getting good at appointments and getting them to at least consider me. Yeah. So I need to get a little bit better at the appointment part of it, but then after that, it's going to be a snowball going down an avalanche. Yeah.
How was you had an appointment today, right? A listing appointment?
Yeah.
How did that one go?
Yeah, no, it was great. I've really been going after the expireds and canceleds lately, just because the market was so crazy with the interest rates going that there were so many cancels and expireds. And I went through all the expireds and canceled that were fresh on Friday. So I went back to some that were in like April, and I figured those people haven't been called in a while. They're probably ready to do something. Yeah. So I called this lady. They had a duplex, and she's like, "Yes, we need an agent like right away. Like we need this thing gone in 4 months." Yeah. I'm like, "Okay, I can come over." Yeah. Went over there today. Nice. They want to deal it off market, so we still have to figure out the best way to do that. We're trying to get them to want to go active, but their last agent had 3 exterior pictures, nothing interior. No good descriptions. It was on the market for 60 days, and both the owners were out of state, and they said the agent didn't call them once.
Oh my god.
during that time period. They didn't get any sort of feedback or anything, so they're just under the impression that going active on the market is going to be the same thing again.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I'll get that. But yeah, otherwise maybe find them an investor that'll buy it. I mean, it would be a great investment property. It's 2-second walk away from Matt's Bar in Minneapolis, so it's a good location. Yeah.
What price point are you thinking?
They had it listed at $285.
When was that?
April.
Okay.
But he honestly said he's like he's moving to Egypt. So
that's right,
That's
yeah,
cool.
he's like, I'm moving to Egypt in April, so I need it gone. He's like, just find me an offer, and we'll talk about it.
I'd have a buyer at $250 maximum, but that might hurt.
Maybe.
Might hurt his feelings.
That might work, honestly.
Yeah, I'll
could.
talk to him.
Yeah. See, look at that collaboration
just
right
gonna say
there.
right there.
Look at that. See, it's helpful.
That's amazing. That was really cool, actually.
Yeah. But no, I mean, the main thing I like the expires and cancels is because like if your sphere, like I'm not super comfortable reaching out to my sphere yet. Like I just feel weird calling my friends and family. Obviously, I haven't found the right way to do it yet. But I'm not really comfortable calling my friends and family asking them if they want to buy or sell real estate next year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a way for me to constantly be calling people and getting more contacts and more conversations in there. Where the more conversations I can have, the more business I'll get, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just an unlimited tap of potential business.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I get that with me being 20 years old. Like all my friends are still in college.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's buying a house right now.
Yeah, you
around
need to
my
look
age.
outside of your
Yeah.
sphere,
Yeah.
basically, to start off.
You know, doing podcasts or open
Yeah.
houses, stuff like that to try to get some business going
For sure.
is kind of where I'm going out about it. But always interested in trying different things or just seeing how things work. I mean, I was super pumped for this episode because I know you guys are super into expired, cancels, FSBOs and stuff like that, where I can gain a bunch of knowledge and hop on some things you guys got going that we'll touch on here in a little bit. But yeah, it's really cool to see and watch you guys do what you do.
I mean, I like the expired and FSBOs because they're hand raisers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cold calling, you can circle prospect and cold call. I don't really like to say cold call because it's not when we call, it's more of a conversation. Not
They're
a
expecting
cold call.
agents to be calling them.
Yeah, so I mean, like the expireds and the FSBOs are hand raisers where they've already directly said like, yes, I want to sell my home.
Yeah.
So then it just becomes it's usually pretty competitive.
Very.
They're usually talking, especially for sale by owners, because their thing is price.
Yeah.
And for a commission, it makes sense. Like a lot of people think, by the way, that we sell your house 6%, that we keep
get-
all of it. Yeah, no, we
No,
pay
not
out a
even
buyer
close.
agent half that. We put a lot into marketing, a lot into photos, cleaning the house, and then we get hit with the tax man as well. So
Yeah.
explaining that value, I really like that whole portion of it. Explaining why
How a realtor gets paid, basically.
how we get paid
Yeah.
and where the value comes of that, and getting that competition with other agents. Because then when you win one, it's like, wow, I did it.
Yeah.
Like nice and.
I'm the best.
I'm the best ever, yeah. So I like them because they're hand raisers and they are a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like easy business, I do, but the challenge is fun, and the more challenging listing appointments, conversations, I feel like it betters your skills a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, having those difficult conversations, getting those difficult questions, and fumbling over yourself.
It's just like winning out in a bid against 9 other offers. You
Oh,
just feel so
absolutely.
proud of the fact that you were able to win that bid.
The
Yeah.
best ever.
Yeah, the best ever.
Yeah.
The best of the best. That's amazing though. Like you said, you're putting yourself up against some really good competition because
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of agents that are trying to get the same thing you guys are, and you're gonna learn a lot.
Yeah.
When you're fighting in the trenches, like there's a lot of learning to be done when you are doing that, which is really cool. And you guys are both really experienced agents, and you guys have only been in the business for 2-3 years. Like,
Yeah,
it's really amazing to see, and it's really nice to have you guys in EXP because we can all work together and stuff. So
For sure.
Speaking that, you guys have started this prospecting group.
We have.
Through, is it the NSA, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where we started it. I've
Okay.
reached it out through, I've like a group chat with that coaching group I'm in, so a few of them have hopped in every once in a while.
Nice.
But yeah, we decided to call it Go for No.
Okay.
The more no's you get on the phone, the closer you're going to get to a yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we basically just get on Zoom, 5 days a week, 4 days of calling. Mondays are more just going over last week's whatever objection handlings we had or role playing, whatever, just to get yourself ready for the upcoming week. But yeah, 2-hour calling sessions every single day, Tuesday through Friday. And we're tracking all the numbers so we know what days are best for calling, what days we're getting the most appointments and everything.
Yeah, we're actually tracking. Like, I feel like we've got the tracking down now because we can see week by week, day by day, and then overall.
And a rolling number,
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
What are the numbers looking like right now? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
Let's take a look.
I know Fridays we've only been doing it for what? This is the start of our third week doing it with more people.
1, 2,
or is this week 4?
Start of week 3.
Start of week 3.
Start of week 3.
Yeah, so kind of a small sample size right now.
Yeah. So last week we were at 7.5% answer rate. So out of all the calls we made, 7.5% of people answered.
Yeah.
26% of the people that answered turned into leads, which we have a pretty strict lead process too. We got to make sure we get their info and that they're actually interested. And then actually a 25% appointment to lead connection. So 25% of our leads we talked to turned into an appointment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really
and
nice.
that doesn't sound too great. Like 7% of the people you're talking to are actually even picking up the phone.
Yeah.
But that's like what you got to do is you just got to do the boring work to
for sure.
get the results, you know.
And when you look at the averages, I mean, the average answer rate is about 10%, you know. So for every 10 people you call, you'll get 1 to answer. So
That's
and then
about right. Yeah.
week by week, you'll see like our answer rate last week was 12.7%, you know. So like we were talking this past week and we had a bad day of calling, you know, nobody was answering, no leads, and we were like, man, if this was someone's first day calling, they'd be out. They'd be done.
Fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm
for
not doing this anymore. And then literally the next day, I think you were sick or you had internet issues or something. Yeah, and then Chelsea Wood, who's on the Pemberton team. Yeah, she's been coming every once in a while, and me and her each set an appointment.
Wow.
Like both set listing appointments in an hour and a half of calling, which is like nuts because usually it would take a whole week to get an appointment set based on all those calls you're making. But yeah, I mean the group's been awesome. I think it's a good learning chance for everybody too, because like people aren't really used to making phone calls, but I think a lot of people know they should be making phone calls. So me and Colin will be in there kind of leading the group, and if we'll all be muted on Zoom. If I get somebody on the phone, I'll unmute myself. Everyone will listen to my call, and then we'll just kind of dissect the call afterwards. Say like, hey, you could have said this different. When he said this, you should have taken that opportunity to do this.
So you throw it on speaker type of deal? Like
For everybody to hear,
each side of the conversation. That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the people that want to make calls but don't want to get like put on the spot like that, they can just keep it muted and keep doing calls, and at least then they can see that everyone else on the call is making calls. Yeah. And you don't feel like you're doing it alone, or like it just keeps you like motivated to keep making calls.
And you feel accountable for it too, you know, like Dustin said, he was sitting in on one of our calls one day and he was like, well, I was sitting there doing nothing and I was like, well, I feel bad I'm not making calls. So he started making calls and actually got a couple leads too.
Wow.
So
and I think almost half the time that we do the calls, you and me get on and we're like, I would not have made our calls if we didn't have this group. Yeah. You know, it's just so easy to make an excuse
almost every day I'm like, man, like especially when we do it in the mornings and like I didn't sleep well, I wake up late, I'm like, I don't want to make calls, but I have to.
Yeah.
But
it's good that we have to though, because once we're in the groove and we're doing it for 10 minutes, we're like, and we get one good conversation, we're like, dude, I'm so glad we actually did this.
Yeah. Well, a big misconception with calls is that it gets easy. And I don't think it ever gets easy because every time I'm about to make calls, the first number you dial is always like, oh, fuck, here we go. Yeah. And then after you get through that one, you're like, all right, this ain't so bad. And then you roll through it. So I think it's good. I think it's good agent attraction too. I mean,
totally.
No other, like you got people in your coaching group that are probably in there like, wow, this is what they do at EXP. Like everybody's working together.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say anyone that's listening that like wants to hop on and like listen to what these guys are talking about on the phone, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shoot us a DM, text us, whatever. I'm sure you'll have our information in the description or something. Yeah. Tag us, you can slide in our DMs, and we'll invite you to our Zoom group.
Well, for sure, it's a really cool little thing you guys got going, and I'm excited to hop on a couple here soon. Yeah. That's the plan at least. Yeah.
Excited for the growth.
Yeah.
I think it's got good potential.
With our tracking too, I think we're gonna start tracking fuck offs.
Yeah, you have to.
Dude, it's so good. Like that one call I had.
That one call would have been probably 30 fuck offs, I think.
oh my dude, I called, it was an expired and one of the numbers was like a wrong number. It called this guy that lived in Iowa. He answers the phone, I put it on speakerphone, and he answers the phone, he's like, quit fucking calling me. I don't fucking live in Minnesota. I live in fucking Iowa. Dude, and I just kept my cool. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, so do you want to move to Minnesota? Because I could help you out with that. He's like, no, fuck Minnesota. There's too many Democrats up there. And I'm like, hey man, I hear you. I have to live up here. And then I'm like, so would you like me to help you do you like sticking in Iowa? He's like, I'm staying right where I am. And I'm like, all right, well, if you could move to any state, where would you go? He's like, I'm not fucking moving. He's like, this whole country's corrupt. And I'm like, so you want to move out of the country then? What country would you like to move to? He's like, no, we got to turn this shit around. And I'm like, dude, I'm with you. And then the call ended. Like, he basically was screaming at me the whole time, and I kept my cool, stayed in the pocket. And by the end, he was like, man, I'm really sorry for yelling at you. You're a nice guy.
You did.
He's like, my daughter's actually going to be buying a house coming up here, and she only got approved for like 170, so she might need some help along the way. And I'm like, well, yeah, let me shoot you over some information. Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Nice, that's sweet.
And even in Iowa, you can find a referral partner
exactly.
within EXP.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was really cool because, again, like if that were me on the phone, like being in the group versus being outside of the group, like after he started screaming, I would have just hung up.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to deal with that.
But it's like the entertainment factor of it. It's almost like people are watching me. I need to see how entertaining I can make this for everybody.
Like the first time you asked him, like, do you want to move back? Do you want to move out? Yeah. I was like, he's poking the bear just for fun.
I totally was.
Turned out to be good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, I've done some cold calling, and I remember there was this one cold calling, and it was like, I don't know, probably like a month into being on the team, didn't even have my license yet.
Yeah. Who were you calling? Like what source?
Property Radar, like literally.
Oh, literally straight up cold calling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got this one guy on the phone, and I just was like trying to find people to like send CMAs to, so I can just like practice CMAs type of deal.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have you out. Like, come check out the house." And I just didn't even think about it. I'm like, no, like I just want to do a CMA for you. Like,
idiot.
As soon as I hung up, I'm like, oh shit, like
you got yourself good there.
Yeah. But it's like it was a learning experience.
But dude, that's just proof that you don't need scripts or like you don't need it perfected. You're gonna run across the people that need your help.
Yeah, no, that's how it was.
It's number. If you're calling and even if you call and say, hey, do you want to sell your house to every person, you're gonna fall into a deal here or there.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Man.
I was like, as soon as I hung up, and I sent him this, still haven't heard from the guy.
Of
and
course,
I'm like,
he was probably like,
damn it.
He's like, who is this guy?
I just gave him a great opportunity, and he said no.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god.
I was like, God damn it. But hey, you live and you learn. Like,
that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have seen a lot of success from the groups, have you said?
You know what?
Would you say?
I wasn't as consistent with calling before the group as I should have been. I mean, I would still call like leads that came in maybe once or twice a week. I would sit on the phone for an hour or so. And it was just one of those things where it's like a time filler. Like, oh, I don't have anything to do right now, so I might as well make some calls. And so, yeah, I mean, I think with the group, I've seen a lot more success with both leads and appointments just because I'm actually almost forced to do it. It's like forcing yourself to do it. So yeah, we've seen some good success. I've set an appointment. Coleman, you've set 3 now, haven't you?
2 or 3, yeah. But I had 2 of them cancel on me, so I've set 3 appointments and only gone on 1. That's the other thing too, is like it's just a numbers game.
It's a numbers game, yeah. Absolutely.
You got to keep setting appointments,
and you're not going to get every listing that you go on an appointment either. Right. So it's just Well, yeah, we've had some really good success.
Yeah.
Even with leads and people to follow up with. I mean, I was calling lists that I would never have called before, but I was like, I don't have a list to call, so I'm going to call these people, and got an appointment set for first week of January. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we're hearing right now is that one of your next questions?
Yeah, it was like what are some objection handles?
Yeah, so the biggest one I'm hearing now is because I'm calling these expireds and canceleds that are fresh expireds, right? And every single person I'm calling is like, yeah, we're thinking about relisting, but we're gonna wait till after the holidays in the spring market. So I've just been collecting as many people that are ready to list in the spring as possible and telling them, I'll follow up with you early January because the spring market starts in February.
Yeah.
I've probably got 30, 40 people to call in January.
Yeah.
If I can get 2 listings out of that.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Let me ask you, so I mean, just because I know you call expireds all the time.
Yeah.
Do any of them ever say, because I know expireds, like they were listed earlier in the year, I don't know how far back you go, but does anybody bring up like the market shift and like, well, my house was worth this and now it's only worth this?
More so I would hear, a lot of people saying, well, with the way the interest rates are, people just can't afford to buy my house right now. Mm-hmm. So I would tell them, well, there's closings happening every single day, right? Like people your house isn't like an anomaly that people aren't buying because of interest rates.
Yeah.
People are still buying houses. And it's tough when they say our agent did a great job, it just didn't sell. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like it was on the market for 180 days and it didn't sell, but he did a great job. I'm like,
something's not adding up.
Yeah, right. It's just, those are the toughest ones, is because it's just hard to talk sense into them that they need to hear a second opinion on things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like the toughest one to overcome. But yeah, just right now it's basically just building up a pipeline of people that are ready for the spring, so you can hit the spring market hard with. I mean, hopefully I'll get 5 or 6 listings right off the bat in the beginning of the year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the biggest objection I'm getting to, is just waiting for spring, waiting for summer. And it's just, it's asking one more question, I don't know if you guys follow, what's his face? Can't remember his name. He's that book. It's called One More. Go one more. I don't know. But he's into like ask one more question, do one more push up, read one more page, and so asking that one more question and one more question and one more question, that's where it really leads into their true reason for wanting to sell or not wanting to sell, their hesitancies, their problems, and that's when you can really have a good conversation with them. So that's a good objection I get to, is just like the firewall going up, like salesman calling me, like firewall's up, I'm not talking to you. So breaking down those walls and just having a conversation, and a lot of times you get, you're talking to people on the phone and you talk to so many people, you got to remember, like, it's a person just like me, and just have a conversation.
Yeah, you're climbing an uphill battle right off the start. Like as soon as they hear that you're a realtor, they dehumanize you.
Oh yeah,
right.
And the walls go up.
Yeah, so you've got to rehumanize yourself somehow.
Yeah, and I try to like open up with just like some conversation, and light and humor, and then go into, okay, look, here's why I'm calling you.
Yeah. No, for sure. We're people too.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah. We're not robots. Like it's just a friendly conversation.
For sure.
The gift of the shift, they were saying, like, tell me more.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of the things they would say, is just when they're on the phone or in person, like, hey, tell me more about that.
Yep.
Or tell me more about your kid's football game or something like that, and just create that relationship, because at the end of the day, this is a relationship type of business.
For sure.
Yeah.
And people love to talk about themselves and their kids and their dogs, and so I mean, if you just ask them, like, they're gonna tell you.
Yeah.
You can go into a more in-depth conversation, and even if it doesn't turn out, we've had a few conversations where we're talking with people for like 10 minutes. Going nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's just friendly conversation, but when you follow up with them, they're going to remember your name.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, oh, that's the guy I talked about my dog for 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like sending them like a thank you card just for talking on the phone.
Yeah.
That's what I do with everyone I have a good conversation with. I'll just say, hey, thanks for spending time talking to me on the phone today. I hope I always say, I hope I'm lucky enough to earn your business in the future, and then I'll put a scratch off card in there for them.
There you go. That's nice.
What amount do you do for scratchers?
It's just $1 scratch off. So
is it like?
Yeah, because me and him were talking about this morning. We were talking about writing thank you cards and putting scratch offs, and he's like, dude, if I wrote someone a thank you card and they won like $50,000, I'd be fucking pissed.
I would be annoyed. Yeah. I'd be like,
I would be too. I'm not gonna lie.
I would have kept that once. Yeah, so I was sending thank you cards to my past clients, and I did like the $50,000 ones, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed if someone calls me. So I started doing
$50,000.
I started doing the $1,000 ones, because then I'm like, I won't be that hurt.
Yeah, and then they call you, say like, yeah, we won $50,000, so we're gonna move to Florida. It's like, oh sweet, can I help you sell your house? No, actually, we're using my aunt's
brother's cousins, former roommate.
Yeah, like
that's been in the business part time for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I just won you $50,000, but okay.
Yeah, right. So do you guys use a lot of scripts, or more of just like shoot from the hip? Or
I like to start with scripts and kind of make them my own, because you don't want to sound like a robot on the phone.
Yeah.
People can tell when you're reading from a script, and the nature of conversation is unnatural, right? Like, things come up, things change left, right, and you have to be able to adapt to it. So I like to start with scripts and just get kind of my opening, and kind of a general track of like, okay, I want to make sure I get this, and this answered.
It's more of a checklist than a script.
Right, yeah, it's more of a checklist, and then just kind of an idea of like those mini things, like if they say this, I want to respond and say this in this way. So that's why I like Brandon Morenin so much, is because he's so smart with how he articulates and phrases his words, to make sales pitches sound not salesy, I guess.
It's he calls it the Socratic way of asking questions. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. Like, it's just so like next level. It's hard for me to even comprehend, and I've been trying to understand it for such a long time. But Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to start using a script because
Yeah.
you're going to suck ass on the phone no matter
Oh my
what
God.
off the bat. So you might as well sound like a robot and get that script down, and then you start to personalize it and you maybe change it up a little bit, personalize it to sound like yourself, and then all of a sudden you don't need a script and you just know these are the questions I need to ask, but in
Yeah.
my own way, and these are the things I need to get from them on this call.
Yeah. No, I remember when I was first like cold calling. I
Yeah.
didn't even like have a script, and like the first person to answer, I was just like, I don't know what to say. Like
Yeah,
I was
right.
just stumped. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I need to like look at something
Somebody
to have something.
answered?
Like,
Yeah.
so it's like you said, it's nice to start with scripts. So then, like
Yep.
you said, you can kind of make your own and kind of
Yep.
figure out what's the right questions to ask or what's the right thing to say at the right times.
And I still use scripts. I mean, I'll study them more than actually read off of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll read through them and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna remember to say that. Just so when a question comes up or if they say something, you have an answer that's like articulate and you can have a better conversation that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I started, I would always have the script right there, and I would kind of read it, and then like while they were responding, I'd be kind of reading what I'm supposed to say next, and then I'd say that, and then now it's just I've been doing it so much, I don't really need the script, but I'll
Yeah.
still have it there in case I'm like
You just get flustered.
or if I'm just like out of the mindset of like calling for whatever reason, I just
Yeah.
need a little refresher to look at, or if I have a really bad call and I'm like, what the fuck did I just say? I'll
Yeah.
like read the script again
Yeah.
and just go over it again.
You'd be like, oh, I called him a fucker instead of a homeowner.
Yeah.
My bad.
Thank God I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. But yeah, and like you say, it's a learning curve, you know. And I mean, newer agents, experienced agents, we all need some refreshers. And
Yeah.
there's even been times where, you know, like when I was reading off the scripts, where I'd, like you said, you know, you'd wait for them to say something, and then while they're saying it, you're finding what to say, and I didn't hear what
But
they
you're not
said.
listening.
Not
Yeah.
listening to them. Yeah. So then I'd come back at them with something, and they're like, "Is this a robot like talking to me?" Like, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no,
always
it's,
good.
It's tough. I feel like I've done scripts, and then as soon as they say something back, I'm just like, don't even look at the script anymore.
Absolutely.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a conversation with you now. Like,
Yep.
Right. Yeah, because if you're too stuck on the script, they might ask you a question that has nothing to do with the script, and then you
Yeah.
read the next question, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Right.
you said, you sound like a robot.
Yeah,
and that's
For sure.
we're humans. Like we're just trying to do our job.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, we'll go kind of to the next question. Like, what's your guys' why? Like, there's a lot of people that talk about their why in this business. What's your guys' whys?
You know, for me, it took me a while to like really know what a why really meant. You know, mine was always just, oh, I want to be my own business and be successful with it, or like whatever, be my own like entrepreneur and do my own thing. But you know, now having a fiance and everything, like my why is to eventually support her enough where she doesn't have to work full time. And then, you know, just have a very good life for my family and my future kids and everything, you know, be able to go on vacation a couple times a year, and really just Alexis is my why.
Yeah.
You know, I want her to be able to live the perfect life that she deserves.
Yeah.
She supported me way too much throughout
Yeah,
the...
there's no I don't know. We'll give clappings, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cute as hell.
It's like you
man,
do
but-
that.
Nope. That one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she's
It's a good
supported
one.
me so much. I need to give it back to her somehow. So
a good
that's
one.
like my big motivating factor is just getting her the life she deserves.
It's awesome. Yeah.
No, I totally get that. That's amazing. I love that. I really do.
Yeah,
You
I have
gotta-
I have a similar one. You know, my girlfriend, I'd like to give her the life she deserves.
Yeah, you guys have been in each other's lives for
Yeah, forever.
long time,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah, whole adult life for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then my family and her family, like, I just don't want to see people struggling, you know, like when it comes down to like, oh man, this bill is going to really break the bank. I just want to be able to say, well, here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to a podcast on the way here, and he said, you know, money doesn't solve all problems, but it solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, it does.
You know? And I see real estate more as a way to earn capital and then invest into things where I can retire early enough, or at least work part-time and have residual income and be able to support my family, my friends, my grandparents, you know, and if my parents end up being old, well, when they end up being old, you know, be able to support them the way that they've supported me my whole life, and be able to give myself and my family some financial freedom and generational wealth.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's like you said, this is an industry where you invest for your future big time. You know,
Yeah.
there's really no retirement fund like you have at some other jobs, but
Nope.
there's a lot of ways to make that passive income with the rev share with EXP. Like it's another huge reason to be a part of EXP.
Investment properties.
Investment properties.
2.7% off the list price right there. So you get a employee discount on
an
home you buy.
Discount.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. I love it. And I'm super excited to, have a career in real estate.
You're in a good spot, man. You're doing all the right things and you're on the right track. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's step away from the business side of the talk. Did you guys watch that Vikings game Saturday? I know Coleman was at the game.
With a sign. Trying to get clients.
Dude, that video was awesome. I got so many people texting me about that. That was a good one. Probably that'll be one of the best videos I ever put out there.
Nope.
But dude, that game was fucking insane.
Crazy.
I think I stopped when they were down like 17-0. I'm not a huge football fan either, but when they were down like 17-0, I was like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my buddies actually, he had his jacket on in the fourth quarter. I can't remember what the score was. I think it was right after Dalvin Cook had like a huge
that 64-yard run or
not the touchdown, but he had a big run and then the next play he fumbled. Turned it over with like 3 or 4 minutes left. I want to say I don't know if I remember. I had a few drinks at the game, so I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. But he had his jacket on. And he's like, if the Colts get a first down here, we're leaving. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. They got a first down, and I'm like, I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving.
I fucking leave. But
it was crazy comeback, man.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
super crazy to watch. The whole season's been crazy though. Let's be honest.
It's been nuts. I was at the game against the Broncos like 2 or 3 years ago now, and they were down. The Vikings were down 20-0 at halftime. I left at halftime, and I've been getting shit for it ever since.
Now you're staying every.
Now I'm staying every game.
Hey,
I am not leaving.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, cool.
I think I broke the curse of leaving games at halftime this time.
Yeah.
But no, that was just an insane game. Biggest comeback in NFL history.
Yeah. I mean, that game was crazy. The Bills game was crazy.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of crazy games.
Yeah, we might have the top 2 games of the year with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. My heart pumps away too fast during them.
I was shaking, dude.
Yeah.
Like shaking.
At the game?
Yes.
Maybe it was the alcohol.
I don't think so. I think I was literally like just that into the game. I was shaking. One of my friends was like in the fourth quarter, she's like, Coleman, look at this picture. I'm like, no, I'm not.
There's a game.
I am locked.
I'm locked.
I am locked.
Right now.
My fiance was like, don't even try talking to him. You're not gonna be able to get a word out of him
so
right
funny.
now.
It was. I thought it was going to be a tie. I thought it was going to end in a tie. And I was like, oh, that's the most Minnesota Vikings thing ever. Is come back and then just end in a tie.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know how to feel if that was the outcome.
Yeah. I mean, the Vikings have had a lot of shitty years, man.
A lot of shitty endings.
Yeah.
Where they start off good and they're like, yep, this is the year, and then boom.
Minneapolis Miracle, and then just get destroyed in Philly.
Yeah.
2009. I don't know if you guys really remember that.
I remember
much,
that.
But
I was in Nebraska, so I didn't have an NFL team.
You had the
Cornhuskers, college team. They suck too. So.
Yeah. But a lot of great Minnesota Vikings players.
So many.
Yeah. I think, should we just go into the draft? Huh?
I'd like to. Yeah.
The best Minnesota Vikings players of all time, huh? Well, we're not going to give Coleman the first pick because you're a Minnesota Vikings guru.
Yeah.
We'll give it to Colin. You want second or third?
I'll go third. All right.
I appreciate it.
Are we doing is it round?
It's not a snake draft. So 1, 2, 3.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
That's fine with me.
I'm kind of deciding between 2 right now. I'm gonna go Randy Moss.
That's a good pick.
That's a really good
take
one.
Randy Moss. I'll see if someone else takes my second pick.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Justin Jefferson.
Ah, there you go.
I think. I mean, he's 3 years in the league.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't want to pick him right away because he's a star, he's a stud. But I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's crazy, but he's still got a very
Dude, it's crazy.
career.
He's not even in his peak. No one peaks in their third year.
No.
So he's only going up from here. If he doesn't get 2,000 yards this year, it's happening.
It's crazy how they got rid of Diggs and then got Jefferson.
Yeah.
And now
the most
Jefferson
even trade of all time.
Jefferson has become Diggs.
Yeah.
And
Diggs was crazy good too.
Yeah.
All right, my pick is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
That was my
Not
one
on
I was deciding.
Yeah, I was like, I figured that's who you were between. And I'm like, I'm taking whoever he doesn't take.
Yeah.
Literally the best running back of all time, probably.
Dude, he was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, people say Cook is really good, but
Cook's solid.
He's solid. I'm not a huge fan of his.
What's with his jittery He's not
Yeah.
like just running.
Dude,
Like,
yeah, and on that touchdown run he had, number 34 of the Colts was getting like held even with him
Yeah.
in the field, and he ended up catching him.
Yeah.
Like Cook should be like the fastest dude on the field.
Yep. Totally.
But yeah, Adrian Peterson.
Great. I love that pick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a maybe controversial Percy Harvin.
Oh, dude,
I forgot about
I was
that
gonna
guy.
do that. I was gonna, yeah.
I remember watching him when I was younger, and I was just like,
Dude,
this
if he-
dude is crazy.
If he
He's
didn't
so
have
fat.
if he didn't have migraines,
Dude,
he could have been the best. He could have
Yeah.
been the number one pick if he didn't have
he used
migraines.
to walk the last 5 yards into the end zone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
legitimately,
He was that
just
far
he was
ahead.
that fast.
Yeah. He was so fat. I remember watching him
Yeah.
return so many kickoffs.
Dude,
oh my
it's
gosh.
crazy.
I remember used to watching like Percy Harvin like highlight videos.
Yeah.
Like middle and like
Dude, they're so
elementary school.
good.
They were so good.
They're
Like,
so good.
He went crazy at the Seahawks too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he did. I'm gonna go with Jared Allen.
Nice.
Dude,
I love
Nice
Jared
one.
Allen.
That's a great one. I was actually thinking about that one for my next one.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Were you at the game when he got inducted into the thing?
That was against the Cardinals or the Cowboys? Because there were two games I wasn't at.
I think it was the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was the day after Halloween. I
Yeah.
was way too hungover for that.
Yeah, makes sense.
I thought about going, and I was like, woke up, and I'm like, no, I
Ain't
can't
no
do
way.
it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. But yeah, no, he came out on the horse.
Yeah, that's so sweet. That's
So
the most
awesome.
Jared Allen thing like ever.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Seriously.
who do we get?
I'm gonna go with Chris Carter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Solid pick.
Yep. I mean, probably gonna be the number 3 best receiver in NFL or in Vikings history, but
Which is crazy.
yeah, I
'cause
feel like you
he's
got to pick a receiver with the Vikings. They've had such good receiving
So many-
cores.
They have, yeah.
Who do we got?
I'm gonna go John Randall.
That's a good one.
That's is. I like that pick.
It's a real good one.
That I like that.
If we're not going for fantasy points, then yeah, I'll take John Randall.
Yeah, right. there's a lot, and I don't know. I don't even know if this counts.
Dude, if you say who I want to say, I'll be so mad.
I want to say Brett Favre.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
I like
yeah.
that.
I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and that 2009 season was unreal.
Unreal.
And we should have went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had it not been for Sean Payton, fuck you.
Yeah, fucking hate that.
I was gonna
guy.
say Favre, but then I was like, I feel like he's more of a Packers.
I
guy.
know, that's kind of
Yeah.
where I was like, but I'll do it because he's
Yeah.
he's the goat. Like,
Yeah.
All right,
He's got those Wrangler jeans.
I maybe have the most controversial pick in this whole draft.
Really? If
Yeah.
you say Kirk Cousins right now,
No. This will be the most. I don't even know if he ever actually played for the Vikings, but Brock Lesnar.
oh shit.
from the Octagon.
Just for that, crowd or the fan appeal.
Yeah.
If I'm starting a team, I'm throwing Brock Lesnar on there because there's gonna be a lot of 69 Lesnar jerseys in
Yeah.
the crowd.
Didn't he used to train here in Blaine at the
Maybe.
academy?
I would
might have.
assume
I
probably.
thought he did.
But yeah, I know he was on the Vikings practice squad. I think he might have played a few preseason games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love that pick.
Just
That
gotta
came
throw
out of
blow.
left field.
Yeah, I
Like,
know,
I
it
did
is
not
a left
expect
field
that.
pick,
I was
I had to
thinking
do
like Culpepper or like
Yeah.
no, Brock Lesnar,
I
the
love
Minnesota
that.
native.
Nice.
what a badass. Yeah, that's kind of all I got for you guys today. You guys, any last words? Any questions for me? You guys got anything?
No, I mean,
Not really.
I think anyone that wants to start doing calls and stuff, just, join our group, check it out. Even if you're not with EXP and just want to come sit in, listen to some calls, if you're nervous about making calls or you
Yep.
just need some more accountability in doing the work, just join us.
Or
Yeah,
just
it's
even to
fun.
listen.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
it's good to just listen to
call,
some
anything, yeah.
some guys that really know their shit on the phone. Like it's fun to listen to you guys talk.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the office when you've been on the phone. I'm like, holy shit, I would have never said that there.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm gonna say that next time on the phone. Like,
Yeah, you just pick up nuggets every single time. I
Yeah.
mean, I pick up
Yep.
stuff when Colin's on the phone. He pick up stuff when I'm on the phone, and then we dissect the whole call afterwards. And
Yeah.
and
And
it's
learn, and it's nice because, even if you think it was a really good call, like, he'll call me out sometimes and say, hey, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
Shit.
that would have
Yeah.
completely changed
Yeah.
the call, So,
Totally.
yeah.
it's you live and you learn type of deal.
Yep.
You
Right.
keep doing it and you learn from it, and
Yeah.
you hope to get leads and set appointments and get listings and sell houses, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
That's the name of the game.
goal.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on, taking the time out of your busy day to step away from the phones for a little bit and hop on the podcast.
Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, man.
With that being said, like they said, if you guys are interested in hopping on or listening to the calls, reach out to any of us. I'll put their Instagrams and stuff in the bio. With that being said, we'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks,
Peace
Brady.
out.
Thanks, man.